We all know that personalized experience can pay off in big ways, but what if you could continuously adapt things like search, product carousels, and more for customers, even from a cold start? Welcome to One Amazing Thing About Malachite. Today we're talking with Sidd Motwani, co founder and CEO, and Di Lyngholm, VP of Product at Malachite, and they're going to be sharing one amazing thing about their platform with us today. Sid and Di, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing this in action in a minute here. Before we do, though, why don't you start by giving a little background on both of yourselves and your roles at Malachite?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the co-founder and CEO of Malachyte. My co-founder and I came from Spotify, where we build their underlying personalization, starting in 2015 with Discover Weekly, and that underlying technology evolved into what you know of Spotify today as a personalization company. Everything is personalized on Spotify, and it's all curated experiences for each user. That underlying technology and discovery is important, is because discovery equals LTV. It's all about diversifying and expanding your tastes and preferences overall. And the reality is, with over a billion products that span music, audiobooks, and podcasts, it's hard to predict your intent, right? Greg, you could be on your way to work in the morning and you could want old nostalgic favorites to get you pumped up ready for your day. But on your way home, you could just want a podcast, right?
Right.
Or you could go to the gym for a workout and you have that same pump up playlist that you rely on every time, but then you go home, shower, and while you're cooking in the background, could just want an audiobook, right? How do we pick and choose the experience for you when we have so many options and hundreds of millions and now 800 million users around the world, um, and understand those intents in real time? And the big breakthrough at Spotify was generative, but for user behavior,
Mm.
right? So let's just start with language models really fast. Language models have trained on the corpus of sentences on the internet and how words co-occur in sentences. So all that means is it looks at every word in a sentence, it hides the word in a sentence and looks at the word before and after to predict that word. And then it looks at the answer and it goes to the next. And it does that for every sentence on the internet. What Spotify and TikTok ended up doing was treating every session as a sentence. So you open that
Mm.
application and there's a sequence of events in every session. There's a lot of metadata and you're interacting with the product. But when we train on all of those sessions, we now generally understand user intent and your interaction with the product and can predict your intent with high enough accuracy in just milliseconds. The best way to understand the technology is TikTok, because at the end of the day, there's a billion user generated content and a billion users. And every time a user opens the application, they pick one out of the billion options.
Right.
And as
Huh.
you engage, it just keeps getting better and better, right? And that's why you stay on TikTok and Spotify as long as you do. So what we're going to demo is what we now do in retail e-commerce. My co-founder and I spent the last year and a half building out a product, a platform around this product specifically designed for retail e-commerce, where we come in and we plug into all of that session, that user behavior data. It's 90% of the data that sits under each and every one of these enterprises right now in
Yeah.
retail e-commerce. The reality is that's just used for dashboarding. Like, just think about Google Analytic events. What we do is we come in, we plug in to that data and we train on all of it and remember it using what's called continuous learning, which overcomes batch technology, which is pretty much what's on the market right now. So that when any visitor hits that website, we don't need any history, no signing in, no third party cookies. We're able to do what's called cold start activation and generate that user vector for them, which represents their preference and intent, and immediately personalize.
Huh.
And it can power search recommendations, PLP, category pages, email, you name it, right? And not only does it adapt and learn in the session, it persists across sessions as well. So if they come back, if and when they come back, then you pick right back up where you left off, or it's just a completely new journey and intent altogether. So Di, you can share a little bit more about your background. Di was our first customer at Fun.com and
Oh, nice.
HalloweenCostumes.com. She's taken over the product with my co-founder Ian and Max. So yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So came from brand side, probably 2 decades total, but 10 years over at fun.com and halloweencostumes.com, which even if you haven't purchased from them, if you purchase a Halloween costume on Amazon, it comes from halloweencostumes.com generally. And yeah, we had used kind of those standard rules based recommendation engines in the past and did an A/B test against what Malachite has and saw a significant improvement. It was 31% increase in RPV,
Wow.
revenue per visitor. And so then since then I've left and I'm now with Malachyte. I love the product so much and how it's changing the industry, and was able to help influence the roadmap there. And I'm owning that now with them. But Fun now has taken search, and PLP is next for them. So they're starting to add all the pieces of the puzzle and are seeing just great results. So it's amazing, honestly, this
Yeah.
technology. When I heard about it, I was like, wait, what?
Hmm.
Coming from a brand side, you usually hear all those AI buzzwords, right? And it's hard to tell what's really real. And the fact that they can explain how it all works on the back end and the math behind it. Yeah, it can't say more about it. And I left and I joined them. That's how much I love it. But I can
Nice.
show kind of how it works.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
Give
why
you
don't you
an
share your
example
screen?
here. So one of our other customers is called Grunt Workwear, and this is one of the demos that we usually will pull up, kind of showing side by side. This was what their site used to be like versus what it is now with Malachyte. So moving into the space here, you can see we have a user at the top, and they're coming from Google. They've searched Compto waterproof. They're a new visitor, and this is what the site used to look like when they came to Brunt versus now. Understanding where this user is coming from, that they're new, they're in New York, what they searched on Google, we're personalizing
Hmm.
the actual page that they're landing on here. Now, if you're using a different user, let's say this guy coming from an Instagram ad, right? Depending on what was in that ad, right? He's seeing something different. Or even this guy is coming from an email. So an existing customer has multiple orders where we know what he's interested in. And he's looking for fall workwear. You can see it's instead of just showing boots, which is their main product, but he's a returning user, understanding more about him too, and personalizing based off of all of that, along with where he came from.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Beyond this, so that's just your product listing page. So you add search to the mix, right? Here, understanding all of the misspellings get you actually what you're looking for. And then finally, on your PDP or product detail page, same product, different recommendations for this underneath this product. One that you may also like, which most people are familiar with, which is just a whole bunch of very similar items, right? But not anything new. So you're basically bouncing between them. Now, if you're showcasing something that's more like complete the look, complete the uniform in their case, you're going to be increasing your AOV, and people will be less likely to bounce instead of going, oh my gosh, $164, everything is that price or higher. I'm out of here, right? They're like, oh, I can build this entire look, right? Now, behind the scenes, to back this up, this user, just to kind of set the
Yeah.
page here, the visitor user ID is right here, and that's our user vector, we call it. This one is for the returning to orders, that email, and you can see that information is coming along with their page view into the session behavior. On the right is their adaptive profile. So this is what we're learning about the customer as they're coming through the website. And you'll see this change as well as in session behaviors as we go through. So what's happening is, if you imagine products on a map, all of your product catalog on a map, some products are more similar than other products. And what the vector does is it identifies how closely those are related and kind of groups them together, right? And there may be groupings like based off of color. So right now you're seeing by category, but they could also be similar to color. So this is almost like a three-dimensional map, if you will. So as I go through, now we're seeing a hover. If you look at the session behavior 2 times on this shirt, they search cold weather work outfit under $200, right? So it can understand that context. So going through all of these steps that they're having along the way, they're dwelling on an item. They have an add to cart here, and then a bundle. So as they went along the journey, so you're going this cold start when they first get here, they hit the PLP, they're showing this outerwear, the hoodie, and what they're interested in. They're searching that outer cold weather work outfit. So
Right.
these products are all getting closer to the visitor, and that's what's actually personalizing the page. So as you're going through and you see all those products are shifting depending on the user's intent and their behavior. And that's what you see on the pages here based off of what they're searching for and what they're clicking on and what they're hovering, all of those different user pieces.
Yeah. Nice. Well, yeah, because I mean, most uh search results or merchandising is, let's just say, not that smart, right? It's based on
Yeah,
some very simple relational. I mean, I've done a little bit of that, like it's simple relational rules because probably because you have to guess for what
right,
anyone anywhere might
right.
guess. So this is amazing to
No
see.
more
Yeah,
no more customer also bought, customer also added to cart. Every
right.
customer is different, where they're coming from, what they're searching. All of those are very specific intents. So yeah, being able to actually personalize based off of those instead of just what some other people had done previously.
Yeah. Right. Well, and I think, one of the most annoying things is probably that one user already had 3 pairs of boots and, the one scenario was going to just show them more boots and, no offense, but they looked relatively similar to each other. So,
Yep.
so how many of the same kind of boot do you need? Although I do have 100 black shirts, I think. But, that aside, um
And you're a specific user, and
right, right,
Malachi would identify he
right.
really enjoys black shirts. Let's keep showing them.
Right, fair enough. Yeah.
And what that user vector can do is it can understand if you know what you're looking for, that complete the look strategies, because the likelihood of that user wanting the boot in that situation is very high. So let's prioritize a complementary add-on. But if you're looking for more diverse options, different colors, it's going to understand that and change the recommendations accordingly.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I love this. Yeah, and I mean, I also think it's really interesting to be able to apply something from, different and, from Spotify, from that kind of world and apply that to e-commerce. So, in retrospect, it sounds like a no-brainer, right? But I know it's, that's what innovation is. So
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well,
Well,
it took us a decade to do it. Lots of compute,
yeah.
and time, resources, and expertise. But yes, just I guess sitting with the level of scale that we were experiencing in Spotify allowed us to be able to bring this to retail e-commerce, right?
It's a big mind shift for the merchandisers too, that have been hand curating and pinning and setting up rules just to make sure that the products that they're hoping sell are actually shown to the customer. Now they see something like in recommendations, and being a customer first, I saw this where it's like, I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
I had a great example at Halloween costumes where somebody was on the Pink Power Ranger page and they came to me and they're like, these recommendations look horrible, and it was all pink costumes. They're like, they should be superheroes and other Power Rangers. And I was like, normally I'd say yes, but the data is proving otherwise. What did
Right.
you click on before that? And they were clicking on all of these different pink costumes. And so the intent is they don't care if it's a Power Ranger. The intent is they want a pink costume. And so we were
Yeah.
showing all pink costumes. So it's a definite mind shift from that, like hand curating the like complete the look and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess along those lines, just what does, because I think a lot of great technology enables the humans that used to do very manual tasks, or let's just say repetitive tasks, it enables them to do something better. So, what does the merchandiser get to do when some of this other stuff is kind of taken care of for them?
Yeah. Well, we do still have rules available for folks because we
Yeah.
understand sometimes there's a product miss and you have stale inventory you need to sell through. And the only way to give it that visibility, if there is no intent behind it, is to boost it, right? Or to pin it. So those are still available. So merchandisers can still do that. But now they can focus their time on merchandising potentially emails, right?
Mm,
Or maybe they can help on paid social side.
yeah.
Maybe you're expanding your catalog or you're adding a new domain and you don't need to do another hire because now you have more bandwidth. Maybe they can set more strategies, things to come with Malachite for sure. Some smart agents that can recommend instead of pinning and boosting based off of a particular product ID or category is RPV, right? So let's boost based off of that. Or maybe our AOV has dipped. So let's make sure that we're focused on that and setting rules that will help us increase our AOV, right? So
Yeah.
it's more around business outcomes versus pushing a particular product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like it's able to balance many objectives across the teams for each user as it's making data-driven decisions, right, in milliseconds. And so if you're looking to promote a new product line or maybe suppress a product that's actually suddenly low on inventory, right? It's able to we our merchandising tool gives the team the sliders in order to influence the personalization for each
Yeah.
user, and then that user vector is considering all of those different intents of the teams when making a decision of what to actually show the user itself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So just more control, more immediacy. It's almost like the merchandisers there in the session moving the shelves around, right?
Yeah.
As they and right now, all they get to do is predefine rules, and everyone just sees the same thing. It's kind of like walking into TJ Maxx, and it's chaos,
Right.
right?
Right.
Everyone is like chaos, and now you walk into TJ Maxx, and the shelves are coming up to you, and they're optimized for each person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
like a
like
personal shopper instead.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
love it. Well, hey, thanks so much for showing this today. For those that want to learn more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, our website, we offer free demos. We're happy to be reached that way, or you can find me at Sidd Malachyte.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, again, I'd like to thank Sidd Motwani, co-founder and CEO, and Di Lyngholm, VP of Product at Malachyte, for joining the show. You can learn more about Sidd, Di, and Malachyte by following the links in the show notes.